Cammie and Victoria, and we are back for another episode of Thinks I'll Read It From Here. And today we are talking about Every Year After. Y'all have been blowing my comments up. Y'all have been blowing my DMs up. I have been seeing so much strong reactions to this show. So today, me and Victoria are just gonna kind of yap about it and talk about how we felt about the show, if it was a good adaptation. We're also going to talk a little bit about some of the reactions that we've seen online and some other good stuff. So thank you, Victoria, for joining me. I'm so happy to have you here again. Just for those who don't know, me and Victoria were basically texting each other while we were watching, while we binged this show.
Live updates, the most unhinged live updates ever.
It was very unhinged. It was very unhinged, but so was the show at sometimes.
Yes.
Like, so was the show. So let's just get right into it. What do you think about, I guess, what would you rate this show out of 10?
So, okay, hear me out. Okay. I can see it from two lenses, okay? So I'm gonna give it 2 ratings. I think book to screen adaptation, I would probably give it like a 6.5. Because I think that there was a lot of changes from the book to screen that I think it can make sense, but it didn't work the way that folks necessarily wanted it to, right? But I think if you just went into this completely blind, had never read the book, had nothing to compare it to, I feel like that's a different rating, and I feel like that would probably be more at like a 7.5 or 8. I think the majority of the things that I did not enjoy were because I love the book so much.
Okay, I think that's totally fair. I do wonder if I didn't read the books, because I read the follow-up too. I do wonder if I would have liked Every Year After more, just going in blind. And I have reached out to a couple people that follow me who I know haven't read the book, and I asked them what they thought about the show, and they felt like it felt kind of slow in the beginning.
Yeah,
and that's
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, they said that it felt slow, and that they also feel like they weren't given enough time with the main couple to really fall in love with them and to care about them. That was like some of the biggest things. And then on the other side, I had some people who never read the book and saw the show that were like, I loved it. I don't know why people are upset. This seemed pretty great. I think where I fall as someone who has read the books, thanks to you, Victoria, you put me on to these books.
I got you.
You put me on to a lot of books. I think it was you who put me on to Off Campus too.
Yeah, we were talking about it. The very first call that we ever had, we talked about it. Yeah.
But I think my opinion for Every Year After, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10 for the first season, right? Like, I think this show desperately needs a second season, if I'm being honest with you. Yes. I feel like this was very much a season to establish, the characters, establish the setting. And I feel like season 2 is really where they're going to find their footing. And I really hope that even though there was all of this negative reaction to the show online, that we still do get a second season, because listen, I'm a Charlie stan.
Listen,
okay,
we can't even go there yet. We cannot even go there yet.
And
I'm fired up and ready.
I need to see his book on screen.
Yes, please. Immediately, yes, please.
So I need y'all to pump the brakes a little bit, especially on the author's comment section. I think it's getting to what I would consider bullying, like some of the comments under her post about this show. Yes, you're allowed to not like the show, right? But you're not allowed to harass the author and call her names.
No,
because you didn't like the show.
I think the biggest thing is, like, it's just for your entertainment. If it's not entertaining you, walk away from it. Like, no one is doing you any harm by putting this content out there. They're just trying to do it for you. And so for someone to go and just bash someone because of it, like, I really hope that you all get the help that you need, because clearly something ain't right up here if you feel like that is what you need to do. You can go to a blog, you can trash the show all you want, but these are still people behind the scenes who made all of this happen. They are actors, they are producers, they are writers, they are the creative minds behind it. And whether you enjoyed the content or not, it still exists because someone put effort and love into it. And so, like, just be kind. Like, I don't know why we keep having to have these conversations about things. Same thing with, like, off campus when they were attacking Mina, was it her ex fiance? There's just, like, there's no reason to be hateful people. Just, like, if you don't like it, turn it off, walk away, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah, and I think there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had about how these fandoms can sometimes become really toxic, and that, you know, because I think people see these actors on screen and they see them on social media, they feel like like there's like that parasocial relationship, and there's this feeling of like, oh, like I know this person, basically, right? Like, I've seen enough of their interviews to know what they're like. And it's like, that's not how that works. And you shouldn't feel like just because you've seen them on screen doesn't mean you should feel entitled to then attack the people in their lives, attack them, how they look, like what they wear. Like, it's just, like, I mean, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but it's so disturbing to me.
Yes. And I have a secret for everyone. Come in close, listen up. Social media is not real. What you see is not who they are as people, and that's okay. And so just, if it's not for you, turn it off, walk away, and go bash them on like a Reddit somewhere where you can bash the show itself and the things that you didn't like about it without harming anyone.
Right. Exactly. You can say, you know, I really didn't like how Percy didn't get enough screen time with Sam, right? Versus, I don't like the way her body looks. Like,
correct.
And her body didn't fit a, 28, 30-year-old because she's too thin or something. Like, that's...
Yes.
Do you see? Like, that's not okay.
All I was hearing about was the way that people disliked the casting for the ages. And I'm like, really thinking about this, because I've had some time to process this. And it's like, if you read the books, you know what their ages are supposed to be. If you didn't read the books, you don't know what the ages are supposed to be. They could be exactly what age they are actually in real life, right? But I think that sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, you see a book to screen adaptation and you're thinking that it is going to be exactly what you expected it to be from the book. But the other big thing of this is, like, every book is different based on each individual person's perception of that book. The way that I read that book is going to be different than the way that you read that book. That's going to be different from the way that everyone else read that book, right? And so the people that we are perceiving in our minds, even if we get an exact description of what they look like, we're not thinking of them the same way. How many of us change a blonde male lead to a brunette male lead? I'm guilty of it. I will always see them as brunette in my mind. So, like, these things that everyone's complaining about, I'm like, it's such minor detail. If they look a little young, let them be young in the show. It doesn't have to be the exact age. I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like casting in general, when it comes to these book to screen adaptations, are always so intense. Like, I am praying that when they cast Fourth Wing, do not tell us the cast in advance. Don't release that to the public, because people will dissect it. I mean, look what they're doing to Beach Read.
Yeah, correct. 1010%. And I will say that there are, like I said, I'm guilty of it too. Like, this isn't who I pictured in my head, but the difference is I know to put it aside and be like, you know what? I'm going to trust that the folks who are behind everything know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I agree. But let's get back to Every Year After, because I want to talk about let's talk about like what we loved and then what we didn't love. And I'm going to let you think about it, because I've been thinking about it a lot and already have the answer. So one thing that I really loved about season 1, I don't know why I'm saying season 1, like there's multiple seasons. I guess I'm trying to manifest the season 2.
There was a teeser today that there's a season 2 announcement that's possibly coming. So I think it's okay to say season 1.
Remember they told us that at the book at the book to screen con that we went to. I'm like, maybe I should post some of I should post some of those videos.
It is a little bit of a teaser, but I think it's coming any day now.
Okay. Well, I really liked the side characters, and I think when we were texting each other, that was like the biggest thing. I was like, oh my god, I love, what was it, Jordy? I love Jordy. I love Chantel. Like, amazing that they developed those characters for the show. I feel I am more invested in their story than necessarily Percy and Sam. Like, I feel like we really didn't. I think we didn't get enough time with Percy, I think, and what her life was really like when she was going through the fallout of what happened between her, Charlie, and Sam. I think we just didn't get enough of that to really like. I mean, we as readers, like, we feel for her, but I feel like on screen I didn't like feel bad for her in the same way. Not this, that sounds bad, but I feel like I was emotionally more invested in the side characters, and I just thought they were so lovable and they were so real, and we really got to see them grow, more than we got to see the other characters grow. And then I would say one of the biggest things I think that irked me was the change of Sam not knowing for a decade that Percy slept with his brother.
So yes, so the thing that I would say that I really like, and then that's the thing that I also don't love, and so we'll come back to that so we can talk about it. But I think the thing that I really love, I also really, really loved the like side characters. I loved that Jordy and Chantel had their moment in the sun. This is going to be a very bold thing for me to say. And because I was live texting you and I was so angry about it at first. But I genuinely love the way that they changed Delilah's character. I'm so sorry. I have to say it. I hated her at first. I hated her in the books. I hated her in the TV show. Hated her until they all got drunk in the house.
And then I was obsessed with her.
From that moment on, I felt like everything about her made so much sense. And I think they just did her such justice. And realistically, almost every single character from the book became a villain in some way, shape, or form. So we didn't need her to stay the ultimate villain because everyone else had their villain role. And so I really liked how they changed that, because in the book, we needed her to stay the villain. But in the TV show, Percy needed her as a friend way more than she needed her to be a villain. And I just love that, and I ate that up after that happened. But before that, girl was on my bottom of my list. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God, I agree. I agree with literally everything you said, because the first couple episodes, I was just like, girl, who are you to tell Percy to ask her what she's doing in Barry's Bay? Ma'am, what are you doing in Barry's Bay?
We literally just kept texting like, shut up, Delilah. No one cares. Go away. But I really like the way that they gave her a redemption arc and had her become one of the most beautiful characters. She was flawed for sure, but I think she was flawed in such a realistic way. Like, even her relationship with Charlie, she waited so long for that to happen. And do I defend it? No. But do I understand where she was coming from now? Yes. And like, she was just so beautifully flawed. But I definitely hated that change of not having him find out when he was younger. Okay. So if you didn't read the books, this is a huge, huge change. You may have already seen it, but in the books, Sam finds out about Charlie and Percy sleeping together almost immediately after it happens, okay? And that is why they stop talking. That is the wrench in their entire relationship. I think their relationship falling apart made so much more sense in the books because of this. And in the TV show, making that slight and what seemed to be probably like a minor change was actually one of the worst things that they could have done for the plot, because it didn't make sense. Their fallout had no real basis, all because he sent an email that said that he wanted to focus on school. That was not enough for her to sleep with him and then be done with him forever. Like, it just didn't make sense.
Right there. I'm going to stop you right there, because are you kidding me? If someone was breaking up with me every 3 to 5 business days, and then you after doing that for years, right? And then we're finally together, and I'm thinking, okay, wait, you know what? Maybe you're not going to break up with me in 5 to 3 or 3 to 5 business days. And then you send me an email breaking up with me, and on top of sending me an email, I'm then calling you and a girl answers your phone and y'all are drinking. Yeah, you know what? He is lucky. Sam is so lucky she only slept with his brother because Jordy was right there, and he has chemistry with everybody.
Okay, can I just say something really quick? Guys, Cammie was every single breakup, she was like, again? Every single time. And it was one of the funniest things to happen in our live update conversation. But so every single breakup, she was like, now we're on number 7. And that just made me laugh. But yes, okay, fine, fair. That is definitely a lot. But based on how many times they had those moments moving forward or previously, they wouldn't have moved forward in that way. And that's where I had an issue with it. Also, it just changed the entire dynamic because in the book, Charlie and Sam's relationship is so incredibly fragile because of this. So then why in the TV show is it as fragile? Because that's never really explained. Like, there are the same pieces from the book, like all of the stuff with the parents and everything, sure. But without that piece, you only understand why it's fragile on Charlie's side, not Sam's side. And I think that's the piece that was really missing.
And I mean, they have the opportunity to kind of give some of that context, I think, in a season 2, to be perfectly honest with you, which is why we need a season 2. We need
come on Prime
season 2.
Do it.
Yeah, that 10-year thing, I was just like, how are Sam and Percy going to overcome that? Like, that is such a big thing. Like, I'm just thinking about like me or a friend, right? If I had a friend whose ex cheated on them with their sibling, and then the sibling and the ex lied about it for 10 years, like, I would not tell my friend to get back together with them. Would you?
No. And that's the thing. Like, in the book, he had 10 years to get over it, 10 years to process it. So their reconciliation in the book was beautiful because it was so much time had passed. So of course he was going to find her again, reconnect, and rekindle that love. In the show, how did that happen overnight?
Yeah, wait, we got to talk about also the other change with Percy getting the restaurant.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I wasn't upset with it, I will say. I was not upset by that. I just thought it was an interesting change, and I'm not sure. I mean, okay, no, I was gonna say I'm not sure why they did it, but I think they did it for longevity of the show. And I think they did it because of how they need things to play out. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. To be honest, the way the boys reacted to the mom giving her the shop in the will, I thought was a little strong. I mean, I get it. Like, that's, I understand them being upset with that, but I think to just be like, oh, we're going to get lawyers and this is that. Like, I just have a conversation with Percy. Like,
yeah, I understood Charlie freaking out a little bit more because he was trying to get it for Delilah. But Sam had no reason to freak out like that. Like, literally no reason to freak out like that and, like, be that upset by it because he didn't know yet.
Doctor. And sir, you're a doctor.
Right.
Are you really trying to run a tavern? Like, I think it just makes sense for Percy to have it. And honestly, like, I see a lot of people villainizing Percy. We're not going to do that. All right? Because honestly, I feel like what Percy needs to do in season 2 is just like those boys' mama. She needs to forget about them. Okay, just like the mom forgot about them when she was making that will. I need you to do the same, and I need you to move on because you cannot continue to let these boys like control your happiness. Right?
Well, her and Sam are back together, so you know what's gonna happen.
everybody in this situation has made mistakes. Like, I don't know why we're acting like Percy made the worst one. They all
No.
made mistakes.
I will
Like,
say one of the things that you just brought up for me that I really, really, really loved was the scenes that Percy had with Sue. They were the most wholesome,
yes,
sweetest
sweet.
moments. And then here's the flip side, which Cammy and I knew this going in because we saw the boys, the brothers, at the book con that we went to. They literally had one singular scene with Sue. Their adult form had one singular scene with
Their
Sue.
adult form, like their Pokemon.
Well, because they had the children had a couple of scenes, but like as adults, they never had time with their mom, and that is a huge miss on filming's part. Because we absolutely could have had these, like, just a montage that was put together of the boys experiencing life with their mom. And I really hope that we get that in season 2. I think the way that season 1 ended did set us up to have some more montages of that, because I think those moments were so sweet, and it helps to also explain their love that they had for her and like how close they really were with her. But like, I loved the Percy and Sue scenes. They were so incredibly sweet. And then her getting to like reenact some of it when she was at the restaurant, and like, yes, it was so sweet and so wholesome, and it made me so happy.
I agree. I love the whole tutu thing. And when, oh my god, when she was making food, I think for the funeral, and Sam walks in and he's like, "Are you wearing a tutu?"
Yes. It was just one of those moments that made so much sense because we got to experience why. And I think that made that scene so much more powerful. But I think that we were really missing that with the boys because they deserve to have time with their mom too. And quite literally, when we were at the book con, they said, we felt so sad because we only got to film one scene with who was supposed to be our mom.
Yeah, and she was
so the actors felt it too.
too.
Oh my God, yeah. Love her. Love her.
So I can understand. I would be upset too if I didn't get to really film with her. But all right, so let's talk about some of the things people have been saying online about this show. I'm curious what you've seen, and then I'll say what I've seen.
I mean, I think a big thing that I have seen is the first thing that I saw was how mad people were that it was no longer a Canadian production. Because why did they make those changes? Why did they have Percy in the US? There is absolutely no reason for that. And I agree with that 1010%. I feel like it really took away from the whole book, right? The entirety of the book is set in Canada. Carley Fortune is Canadian. These are her places that she used to visit, that she writes about because they mean something to her. And they just completely changed it. Now, I understand there was some more discourse about like, well, why would you change the filming location to somewhere like on the West Coast when it was supposed to be on the East Coast? That's not a problem to me. Like, there are going to be other things that are on the East Coast in terms of like her upcoming works. I don't think that's the problem. I do think that they should not have Americanized it. I think it should have been true to the Canadian culture, and they really took away from that.
Okay. I've also seen that, but I do want to talk about that for a little bit. I think Canadians are justifiably upset, and I don't think anyone should take that from them. But it's like, didn't we only spend like an episode in Seattle?
It was only a little bit, but it was the thing that I was seeing is that they were upset that they had her be an American instead of Canadian.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, that's the part. Yeah, that's the part that people are upset about because it was like taking away.
Physically there.
No. I mean, if she would have like moved there, but originally in the book, she's from Toronto. And so the fact that they changed her entirety to be American, that's where a lot of people are having an issue. And I do agree with that. Would I have seen it as an issue? No, because I am American, so it didn't bother me. But I understand why people are upset about that. And I agree. I mean, what's the point in changing it?
Yeah, I definitely seen that backlash. And you know what? Maybe that's part of why she got the tavern, so now she can be there. And I'm wondering if when they were making the show, if they were just like, well, maybe it makes more sense to not have her in Canada during those 10 years so that she really kind of, was really just in a way different place than the boys.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wonder if part of it was so that the series was able to be marketed towards an American audience as well.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I was just thinking about this the other day. Most of my favorite comfort shows are like all filmed in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Canada, people need to put some respect on Canada's name.
Correct.
Okay. And I wonder what that's like as a Canadian to see all of these incredible shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're filmed and where you grew up, right? And places you love, but then they say it's in America. Like I've always wondered how
Mm-hmm.
Canadians felt about that.
And I'm sure horrible because Canada is, and I've only been to an airport in Canada, but the Barry's Bay is absolutely freaking beautiful. And I don't know where they filmed it, so that's on me. I know that it was on Vancouver side, like somewhere on the west, but like absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And so I am glad that it was still in Canada, but I definitely see like how folks are upset that they took that part away from it.
Yeah, I agree. I still hope that with a season 2, some of the backlash that this show has been given, I'm really hoping that like some of the stuff has will have a payoff maybe in season 2, or I don't know, just can be somehow fixed in season 2. I really want them to get a season 2. I'm pretty sure they are going to get a season 2. I just wonder if people are going to watch it.
I think here's the thing. Definitely a season 2 is coming because despite all of the discourse online, despite all of the negative comments, they did surpass Off Campus in streams. And so I definitely think it's happening because Off Campus was already renewed for 3 seasons, right? So like we know for a fact if it surpassed that, they're going to renew it. I think that people are still going to watch it. I just think that they're not going to flock to it immediately, right? Although with the ending, maybe. Okay, very angry about that ending still. But I think they purposely did leave a cliffhanger because if you didn't read the books, you have no idea what's going to happen. And even if you read the books...
Let's talk about the cliffhanger. Victoria, can you spoil it? I want you to spoil it. The spoiler warning. This is your spoiler.
If you have not read One Golden Summer, mute us, leave, come back, whatever you need to do because y'all... Okay.
I need you to drop the bomb. I need you to drop the bomb.
In One Golden Summer, we do not find out that Charlie has a heart condition until the end of the freaking book after he's already better. Oh, I'm so angry about how they did this. We didn't have time to mourn and cry and be upset about it in the book, so why would they do this to us? I'm so angry. It's not even funny.
So what are your so based on how they ended the show, I want to talk a little bit about the ending and the significance of what we saw, what it means, and kind of theorize what we could see in season 2. So I'm curious, first of all, what did you think about them having that ending of Charlie looking at the picture, and then people thought that he was having like an anxiety attack and they were confused how the picture triggered him. I think people just didn't really understand what was happening. And, since we both read the books, I'm curious to hear your perspective on like a ending explained, right? What happened. How would you explain that to someone who hasn't read the book?
So yes, I think readers knew exactly what was happening. Watchers might not have understood because it could have easily been an anxiety attack. Looking at that photo, which by the way, can I just say how happy I am that they talked about the photo in this season instead of waiting, because in the book you don't know about the picture until the second book. Okay. So really, really happy about that. However, watching him have a heart attack was unfair. It was uncalled for. It was rude. It was disrespectful. However, I do understand why they had to do it. So number one, they needed a good cliffhanger to be able to get a season 2, and to be able to draw people in who hadn't read the books. even if you have read the books, we never saw Charlie have a heart attack. We literally only found out about it when he was already in the clear from his heart condition. We knew that he was like worried about it, but that was it. And so even as a reader, you're still going to want to watch to find out how they're changing his storyline. But I think the other piece
Which
of this,
I love.
yeah,
I think that's good for book to screen adaptations. Like, don't give the readers everything. Give us something a little different to be excited about.
exactly. And I think the other piece of it too is that Charlie's character was written differently in the show than in Every Summer After. He was a little bit harder to have that redemption because he was doing some questionable things and was not necessarily a great person. Not saying that he was great in the books. There were other things that he was doing in the books, right? But I still think that him having that heart attack at the end of the season sets him up for a better redemption storyline for season 2, which in One Golden Summer, he is literal perfection in every way, shape, and form. I love him. He is the golden boy, hence One Golden Summer. But I don't think that they could have gotten there without having an oh crap moment with him in season 1.
Oh my God. I just feel like Charlie in general in the show is almost like a completely different person. I don't hate the Charlie in the show, but I would defend book Charlie with my life, right?
Yeah.
I would defend show Charlie if it wasn't an inconvenience.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's so fair. I think okay, I'm curious. You're usually the one asking questions. I'm putting you on the spot. What is the worst change in your opinion from book to screen, Charlie?
I think just his whole thing with what's her name? Delilah. I think that whole situation just made me a little uncomfy because like she knew she was getting divorced. He didn't know that.
Yeah. I also
the way he spoke to Percy pissed me off. Like, why did he talk to Percy as if she was the problem with it takes two to tango?
Correct. I also really didn't like teenage Charlie as much in the show as I did in the not that I liked him in the book, right? Like he was a jerk in both. But I don't like the way that he was leading Delilah on in the TV show. Like he was really just an awful person in the TV show. And it's like, how are we supposed to get this beautiful golden redemption for him? I'm going to just keep using golden apparently. But how are we going to get this beautiful redemption for him if we don't have a moment where his whole life is going to flash before his eyes and everything is going to take on a new perspective? And I think that's what they're setting up for season 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's clearly going to take a bigger role in season 2, which I'm a little confused about how that might be the case, just because there's so much that still needs to be explored from season 1 with Percy and Sam.
Well, the showrunner said that in her perfect world, there are going to be 5 seasons of this show. So I don't think that they're trying to fit everything into just 1 and 2 seasons. I think she wants to expand. And I definitely think that, yes, Charlie's story is coming in season 2, but we definitely never got closure on Percy and Sam, even though they had their moment at the end. We never got the closure that we needed from them. And so I think both stories are going to continue to expand.
Yeah, and I think, I think it's okay that we didn't get the happily ever after. I think if it's supposed to, if there's going to have all these other seasons, I think it's fine. I do think there is an issue in Hollywood, I would say in the last 10 to 8 years, of basically for TV shows, I feel like they always make season 1 with the anticipation that a season 2 is coming. And I think we need to get back to just having a really good season 1 that just stands alone by itself, is a great, well-written, beginning to end show. And I think that is just the industry right now. And I wish we weren't. I wish things weren't like that. But, I hope they get the season 2.
Yeah.
We shall see. But yeah, I think Charlie, he kind of pissed me off a lot in this book when in this movie, when TV show, when he like came to what is her Delilah? When he went to Delilah's house and was like drunk. He was drunk, right? I think he was drunk. When he had like that crash out. Yeah. And was like, I'm not an a-hole or whatever, that whole crash out that he had. And then he saw Percy and got triggered. But yeah. Which, like, again, he didn't do that. Like, some of the changes, I think it's really to make it so his redemption arc is like huge. But I just show Charlie, I would only defend you if it like wasn't like if it inconvenienced me, like I'm not defending you.
I also wonder too, as they were like thinking about Charlie and what everything was going to look like, I think when they changed Delilah's storyline, they did have to change his slightly also. I just don't love the way that his went. I love the way that hers went. I don't love the way that his went. But maybe when they bring in his love interest, whose name is literally escaping me right now.
Is it Alice?
Yes. So maybe when they bring her in season 2, maybe that will be like his defining moment. But I'm also really excited to see like what happens with Delilah's crazy ex and everything. Because
so funny.
I need to know. Yeah.
That whole storyline was so funny to me when she was like in the house trying to grab all of her stuff, and then us seeing her just go from zero, right, to living in a motel to building her life up and like, experimenting with girls and just like, living her best life. Like, I loved seeing that. Why do we not see that with Percy? And I think it's because, it's probably because this whole situation has forced her to not be able to move on with her life, and which is really unfortunate because clearly everyone else has moved on. But I think I'm so excited for her character, for Jordy, for Chantel in the new season. I do not want her and Jordy together.
Chantel?
No, Jordy and Delilah. Did you see the look? Did you see
Delilah was heartbroken. Oh my God, she was so incredibly heartbroken, and it broke my heart. But at the same time, I am a Jordy and Chantel fan from the very beginning because they gave power couple before we even knew that they were going to be important characters. So, and I'm a big power couple girly. Okay, if you saw any of my most recent TikToks, I talked about this. Power couples are the way to go. They were a power couple. They were the strongest power couple, stronger than Sam and Percy were. So I also think too, to your point about like, why didn't Percy get like her full story? I almost think it's like the show was written for readers who already knew. And so they needed to give like a new storyline, a new twist to bring those readers in. But then it was like a miss for the watchers. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking about right now? Like now thinking about like all the changes that they made, I wonder if they kind of moved up the heart issue to make sense for why, because like we have to keep in mind like Sam and Charlie have not fully they have not repaired their relationship, and I could see this health scare being what, like having it happen early on being what brings them back together, especially with Sam being in the medical field. Which like seeing him in his lab coat, he just looks so young.
I know, he's a little baby.
I know, I was just
but he's not even a baby.
I'm like, I don't know how I would feel like if that was my doctor. I'd be like,
so I think the funny thing is like even when we saw them at BookCon, when they were talking about, they're like, oh, you're playing your age, and they're like, no, we're not, because first of all, Sam, like the actor who plays Sam is older than the actor who plays Charlie, which is so funny to me because Charlie does look like the older one, but also they're both playing up to play their current now age. They are both playing up, so they play down, they play up, but they never actually play their current ages, which I think is funny, but it also worked really well for the younger ages because when Sam had to be 15, he looked 15. But when Sam had to be almost 30 or 30, I think he might have been 30 at one point, he doesn't look 30. But also, I have a baby face too, so I can't really say much about that.
Yeah, same. I wonder if they should, like, because a lot of people have complained about how they felt like the time jumps were a little jarring from the teenage to the adult because they just looked the same. I really wonder if they should have just given her like Percy, I mean, all of them, some kind of different hairstyle
Mm-hmm.
or something so that we could be able to like tell
Yeah.
a little bit better.
I do
But
think I do think that they could have done more to show the difference, because there were definitely a couple of times that I was like, oh, wait. And I didn't rewind because we were watching it live together. But I was like, wait, what year is this? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
But I
same.
think like others have done it really well with just like a transitional slide that brings you in, or like different coloring over it or something
Right, a
like
different
that.
filter. Give it the
Yeah.
Twilight filter.
Yeah.
Just make it
Exactly,
look
though.
blue as hell. Just
Yeah.
make all the past scenes have like
Or
a
like
sepia
green. Yeah. Make it
filter
look
over it.
Make it look like the Love Hypothesis trailer. Put the old movie scene over it
Yes.
to like have the flashback effect. I think that definitely could have made it a little bit stronger. I also think for readers, the flashbacks made more sense than it did for watchers.
Exactly.
Because I think for watchers, it was like, what is going on? But for readers, we're coming from the book where it made sense. And so I think that was another thing that like didn't translate that well to the screen unless you had already read it.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what they do with season 2. I think now that we've kind of gotten most of the first book kind of done, I would say, I feel like now they can like enter this new territory that I think is needed, right? I think we just kind of need a little like we need a new start, and I think that's what season 2 is going to offer. And I'm wondering what your theories and predictions are for season 2.
Yeah, so first, I just want to say too, I think season 2 will do better because it's not going to be coming off the tails of Off Campus. And I think that's why we're at such a disservice to this show, because people were way too overhyped from Off Campus. Not that Off Campus was overhyped. Love that show, okay? But people were expecting the same thing and we didn't get that. But I think season 2 will now have different set of expectations, so I think it will do better. Predictions, my hope, oh my God, my hope is that Delilah finds happiness. Okay. Yes. I love her. She became my girl real quick, but I really hope that she like takes this time to reflect on hers and Percy's friendship too. And they figure out a better way to like a stronger future together, because I think those two are really unstoppable as friends. And I did really like that we got to see like the brief flashbacks of them when they were friends and figure out why their friendship ended and learn that it was actually never Delilah's fault. And it was all Percy. I also would really like to just see Charlie find his happiness. I'm just going to say happiness a lot, apparently, but I just want Charlie to be able to find that redemption and like be happy. I think him and Sam really need to have their moment to talk about what losing their mom actually did to them and like have that brotherly bonding moment, because it was missing. And maybe we will get, spoiler alert for the books, but maybe we will get some of those flashbacks of Charlie and Sam like talking to their mom when she was on her deathbed and like having those conversations. And like that was really missing. I want to see that motherly connection with them. And I think we need that in order for them to heal as brothers in season 2. I also just want to see Percy more. Like, let's give Percy an actual storyline. Let's see how she does handling the restaurant. Let's see her crash and burn. Let's see her excel. Like, I want to see it all with her.
Yeah, I want to definitely see her. I want to see her grow. I want to see her. Honestly, I want to see her boss up, right? Like, girl, go to Barry's Bay, run this tavern, and become the best version of yourself despite your mistakes of your past. Like, we have to move on. And I think season 1 should be about, season 2 should be about moving on and growth. And I think you can apply that to every character, really. And I want to see all of the women thrive next season.
Yes.
I don't really care about the boys.
And Charlie. We want Charlie to thrive too. Come on now.
I think I became a Sam hater, low key. Oh, okay. There was another change. I'm surprised we didn't talk about this. The fact that he stayed like together with, what was it, Taylor, the girlfriend?
Oh, Taylor, yeah.
For as long as he did.
Yeah. She's kind of, okay, so love the actress. If y'all don't know who she is, she was in Netflix show that I can't think of the name of right now, but I love her. I almost didn't recognize her without her like huge glasses from the other show. What the heck was it called? Firefly Lane. She was the young blonde in Firefly Lane. But I feel like she was the most forgettable character in the show, and that really stinks. And like there was no closure. She was just there, and then she just wasn't there. And so if Taylor ends up in season 2, like finding her redemption arc too, I wouldn't be upset about it because girl needs it.
Do you think Sam is going to use that ring to propose to Percy?
I mean,
that would be so messy.
Would it mean a lot though to Percy? Also, yes, I think. I don't know.
Because I mean, what happens? Like, what's going to happen to that ring? It's the same thing with like The Summer I Turned Pretty. Like, is Conrad going to give Belly Susanna's ring that Jeremiah was about to give her? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Messy. Brothers are messy, man.
This is insane. Have you seen My Life with the Walter Boys?
I'm not caught up on it. I've only fully seen season 1 through.
Okay, that's okay. So if you had to rank the 3, because this is now the third brother love triangle show. If you had to rank The Summer I Turned Pretty, My Life with the Walter Boys, and then Every Year After, what would your order be?
Of just the like brother dynamic, like the brother with the like your triangle.
What show you like the most?
Okay, so definitely The Summer I Turned Pretty is number 1, easily without a doubt. I would, this might be controversial, but I would put Every Year After second and My Life with the Walter Boys as third. And here's why. I think My Life with the Walter Boys, I enjoy it, but I think it's still very childish. Whereas this felt like it was more adult. And My Life with the Walter Boys feels like it's more of like a YA show. It's not, but it does feel more YA. And so that's why I would put that one at third. I think I would really want to see the season 2 and see how they do Every Year After with One Golden Summer to see if that changes my ranking at all. But it's going to be really hard to beat Summer I Turned Pretty. I also loved those books too. Like I read those books before the show came out. So like both of those, I read the books. I never read My Life with the Walter Boys. So that also might play into my ranking.
Have you seen Vampire Diaries?
Of course I have.
Okay.
Girl. I was going to say only 3. What about Vampire Diaries?
Okay, let's add Vampire Diaries. Where would you add that one?
Okay.
This one hurts. Like this hurts. I don't want to list mine.
I'm so sorry. Because you're probably gonna hate me for doing this. Summer I Turned Pretty is still gonna be number 1.
What? Over
I'm so
Vampire Diaries?
I'm so sorry. Yes. Hold on. So it's Summer I Turned Pretty, then Vampire Diaries, then Every Year After, then Walter Boys. Here's why. Okay, hear me out. I love a power couple, and the Vampire Diaries did not take my power couple to the end. So they cannot be number 1.
Wait, okay, hold on. Are you a Stefan and Elena stan?
Yes, I am. I love Damon. Oh, listen, oh my God, love that man.
You're healed. I guess I'm unhealed because I was a Elena and Damon girl.
But Stefan and her were the power couple from the beginning. If I see a power couple walk onto that screen, that is who I'm rooting for from the very beginning. And so it was never going to be Damon and Elena for me. I'm so sorry. I love you, Ian Somerhalder, but I can't do it.
I honestly wish Bonnie and Damon.
Yes! They were perfect!
They had so much chemistry. I love them.
And their time when they were dead together. Yeah. But like their time when they were dead together was like one of the greatest things ever. I love them so much.
Sweet.
Yes. Yeah. So like I just can't put them above Belly and Conrad because they are not my power couple.
That's crazy. I think for me it's Vampire Diaries and then The Summer I Turned Pretty and then My Life with the Walter Boys and then Every Year After.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be your order.
Yeah. That's it. All right, I do want to wrap this episode up, but I'm going to ask you live on air.
Mm-hmm. Every time. I'm expecting something at this point.
I love to do this. Do you want to come back to do a off-campus theories and prediction video.
Duh. Count me in. Oh my God.
Okay, so I do need to know, which books have you read? Like you can go based on the series within. I guess that
I
has written in that universe.
I have read Off Campus series. I have read Campus Diaries. I am going to be reading Briar U in the next couple of weeks. So I have not yet read Briar U.
So this is perfect because I've read Briar U and I've read Off Campus, but I haven't read Campus Diaries. So this is going to be a great video because between the two of us, we've read like everything. Yeah. well, is the Graham Effect, is that Campus Diaries?
That's Campus Diaries.
Okay.
That's Campus Diaries.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I haven't read that one. So between the both of us, we've read everything.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the 3, right?
Yeah. As of right now, and then they're bringing Return to Briar U, but that doesn't come out till fall.
Yeah, that's like the off-campus couples though, right?
So it's going to be an extension of Campus Diaries.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it'll be an extension, and it's another De Laurentiis. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so excited because I've read Campus Diaries, so I'm so excited about this.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm excited to make this video then. I think we have enough information to really have some good theories and predictions.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to us talk about every year after. I will be posting on social media about when we will be doing that off campus video. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you are locked in and checking my socials for the date for that. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.